come with the spring, sure as leaves unfold. Got their Bibles, got their wine, gonna save my soul. Well, I'm spending it the way I want, and I'm doing okay. Living here in Mother Earth, I like it that way. And I don't need no harp of gold, no crystal mansions up in the sky. Just set me down here, sir, with a homemade dulcimer. Let me live with Mama, I'll be fine.
Hello and welcome to Human Connections, your holistic video magazine. The purpose of this magazine is to bring you information to make your life more healthful. Information that will help you nurture yourself and your family and bring you in harmony with Mother Earth. I'm your moderator, Cecilia Rodarte, and today's program is about herbs. Throughout the ages, people have been using plants, not only for food nourishment, but for numerous other uses. Even before wheat was domesticated and propagated in the Middle East, nomadic tribes were gathering flowers, roots, and leaves from wild plants. They used these parts of the plants to flavor their food, make teas and remedies, and even for cosmetic purposes. In most countries of the world, you can go to the marketplace and find an herbalist that will give you a tea for your illness or ailment, poultices or baths. But here in America, the American Medical Association strongly disapproves of anyone giving herbal therapy. Although these practices have been passed down from generation to generation in the Native American culture and by our great-grandparents, one cannot really recommend herbs for medicinal uses. There are, however, some very good books on the subject, and we'll show you some of those a little bit later. Besides medicinal uses for herbs, we know them best for their culinary advantages, the sweet and spicy flavors they lend to our foods. Then too, there are the aromatics, the pleasant smelling herbs and flowers that we use for potpourri and to just plain beautify our homes. Today we are the guest of Rainier gardener Gail Leino. Gail, hi.
Hi.
Thanks for having us over to your garden.
Well, I enjoyed sharing my garden.
It's really beautiful. Can you tell me how long have you been propagating this garden?
About 12 years. Now this formal garden's only been going about 3 years, but I've been growing herbs for about 12 years.
And how did you get interested in herbs?
Well, I was looking for some answers to some health problems, and decided to try the natural way. My husband has high blood pressure, and I've been trying to cook with herbs and get away from using salt and things like that.
Well, great. So you can show us the garden, show us which herbs are, used for certain things, right?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Even potpourri and everything. Okay, let's go in. This is really beautiful, Gail.
This is my lavender garden, and I have quite a few different kinds of lavender, or I have lavender flowers, and there's some lavender thyme, and so I just try and put all these things together here.
So it's all mixed up. What do you use the lavender for? That's potpourri, right?
I use it for potpourri. You can make tea. You can also make cookies with it.
Great, lavender cookies.
Yeah. It's good in herbal baths. You can use it as a soothing. You just put it in a little bath bag along with some other kinds. It makes a lovely soothing bath.
Great.
You can use it in a cosmetic herbal vinegar with rose petals and lavender. Makes a nice astringent for your face.
So these are the beauty uses, the beauty uses for lavender. Great.
Okay, now this is my medicinal garden, and one of the items and flowers in my medicinal garden is the echinacea, or coneflower. And I use it as an immune stimulator. It strengthens your immune system. I take it in capsule, but you can also drink teas of it. And one thing I would like to bring into this is make sure you know your herb before you use it. Don't just go by somebody telling you something. Check with a reference book or have somebody show you what it is so that you know you are using the right thing. And also with teas, you want to take your tea and you want to use it for what you're using it, the ailment or condition you're using it for, just for a certain amount of time, and then don't use it anymore. Because sometimes too much of a good thing can be harmful also.
What is this flower?
Okay, now this is jewelweed, and it is used to help soothe poison oak or poison ivy. You puree this up in your blender, and you can freeze it in ice cubes, so you can have it all year round. If you get any kind of an itch or rash, you just rub it on your skin, and it's soothing. I mean, you can take it right now and just crush it and use it on a bee sting or anything, but if you want to save it all year, you put it in ice cubes.
Now these yellow flowers over here, what do we use those for?
That's evening primrose, and they do make a oil out of the seed, and it's supposed to be good for female hormones, female problems. Okay, now this is yarrow here, and it can also be used for a tea. And I just checked in one of my books this morning, and it said a fresh leaf from yarrow can be put on to help soothe the toothache. So that might be something that you'd want to remember, because there's yarrow that grows along the roadside, and it's white.
I saw some of those in your dried flower arrangements too.
Mm-hmm.
So those will dry well.
They dry well, yes. I use them in my herbal bouquets, and they're very pretty. Okay, this is black hokash, which is supposed to be the herbal remedy to the female estrogen.
And how do you use that? Do you make a tea from it?
It's taken in capsule usually. I think there may be a tea that you can use, but I think the most common use of it is a capsule or tincture. But there again, you want to check with a physician before you use any of these.
The way that you have the colt's foot and mint arranged, you told me that they get pretty wild.
Yes, colt's foot is supposed to be good for lung and bronchial problems, but if you're going to have it, put it in a pot or put it in a little corner so that you don't care if it spreads, because I have it throughout my herb garden now.
Okay. Gail, can you tell me about this little flower?
Okay, now this is feverfew, and it is supposed to be good for migraine headaches. You take either one capsule a day, or you can supposedly eat a leaf or two a day, but you need to do it as a preventative rather than wait till you get it. It's something that you need to take.
So it's a good cleansing herb.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in the chrysanthemum family?
Yes. Mm-hmm. This is lady's mantle, and it's good for female problems. If you drink 10 days, a cup of tea for 10 days, it's supposed to help with menopausal discomfort.
And it has a pretty flower, so you can use those in flower arrangements also.
I pick the flowers when they first come up and dry them for arrangements. It makes a nice filler.
Gail, this looks like one of the weeds that I have growing in my yard.
Yes, this is the broadleaf plantain. It's a roadside weed, and it's very good for bee stings or any kind of an insect bite. You get it, just bruise it, or even put it in your mouth and chew the leaf and rub it on the insect bite, and it'll soothe it in just a very short time.
I don't know if I mentioned, but herb does mean weed.
Yes, it does. So anything that you don't know what is and call it a weed, it's probably an herb.
Most people know herbs for their culinary uses, cooking with herbs.
This is my culinary garden. It started out very small with just a plant here, and now you can see it's really taken over. They spread. That's the wonder of herbs. This is marjoram, and this is golden marjoram. And this is one of the kinds of sage. This is a narrow leaf sage. There's a wood sage. This down here is Greek oregano. It's one of the stronger ones, and most people prefer that to cook with. There's alpine strawberries in front. And this is willow bay here. You use that in seasoning your stews and soup. And this is ginger mint. Very pretty and striped, and has kind of a spicy flavor to it. There's some salad burnet over there. I don't know if you're interested in that.
Salad burnet?
And it has a flavor. It's supposed to give your salads a taste of cucumbers.
Yum.
Or in vinegars. You can use it in vinegars to flavor your vinegars.
I noticed you had some flavored vinegars up there, so you'll show those to us later
we will.
too.
They're kind of fun to make. You can use your imagination and put any kind of flavors you like into your vinegars. It's really interesting.
Great. Tell us about these plants. Who's this tall guy?
These are Jerusalem artichokes. Unlike the other artichoke, you dig and eat the root off of this. They taste kind of like a water chestnut type of thing. And this is spearmint here, which you can use in your teas. I use it in potpourri or in my herbal bouquets because it always smells fresh. And it's one of the herbs they used in the ancient times as a stirring herb. They put it on the floors, you know, and it was good to, people would walk on them, and it would give off a nice aroma.
Oh, what a good idea.
There's lots of things about herbs that we don't know. It's so interesting to find out about them. This is my thyme garden here. There's all kinds of different kinds of thyme. There's silver thyme, curly thyme, woolly thyme, lemon thyme. I have a mother of thyme, a caraway thyme. And you can use them in cooking, in teas, in your herbal baths. They're stimulating for herbal baths. They're antibiotic and antiseptic because they have a strong oil to them. And then some of your thymes are just strictly ornamental. The little low crawling ones are more just for you can make lawns or walkways or whatever out of them. They're just for the pretty. Okay, now I have some more herbs. Here's a rosemary plant in this pot here. You use rosemary in cooking, and you can use it in cosmetics, and you can also use it in your herbal baths. Very good. And then this is borage. You use the flowers in salads, and you can candy them and use them for decorations on cakes. They're very, very pretty because they have a bright... The flowers. Mm-hmm. And these here are daylilies. They're one of the culinary flowers. I have recipes where you can fill them with cream cheese and use them as kind of an hors d'oeuvre or an accent to a salad. And then this is more yarrow here. And then this is St. John's wort. It's used, I used it, I made some liniment. I put some of the flowers in olive oil and set it in the sun, and I used some liniment to rub on my back. I have sciatic pain lots of times, and it seems to soothe it. Okay, now this is cosmere. When it blooms, it'll have a yellow bloom on it. It's also called the Bible plant. In the old days, you were supposed to be able to put one of these leaves in your Bible, and if the sermon got boring, you smell the leaf, and it was supposed to wake you up. I don't know. It has a very subtle smell, so I really can't see it waking anyone up. And then this is bedstraw. It's an old herb, too. They used to use it in the mattresses in the olden days, so that's where the bedstraw came from. It has a pretty flower.
Okay.
Kind of a hollyhock. Okay, now this is marshmallow. It's actually in the hollyhock family. In the old times, they used to use it for marshmallow flavoring, but now they have all these new scientific things, so they don't. It has its health purposes too. It's supposed to be good. It's a demulcient and things. It's good for mucus and coughs and things like that. These are nasturtiums. There's the variegated and the regular old-fashioned ones, and you can use both the leaf and the flower in salads. They have kind of a peppery taste. And this is red oric here. It's also used in salads to give some color. It's very interesting to have something other than just greens in your salad anymore.
You can make them pretty too.
You can make them pretty too, yes.
Tall yellow plant. What is this?
Okay, that's fennel, and you can use it for, in culinary, it has an anise type flavor, or you can, it's good for tea to help settle the stomach, or lots of times when I'm finished eating, I'll just come out and pick some of the little seeds and chew them. It has a licorice taste, and they're very calming to your stomach.
Okay, go in.
Okay, this is pennyroyal, and the oil of it can be used for insects. You can even make a tea out of it and rinse your dog in it. It has a kind of a minty flavor, and it'll keep the fleas and things off. Okay, and this here is chickweed, and it's good. You can make skin tonics and things. My daughter's had chicken pox, and I made a tea and used it on one and bathed her I thought they were hives to begin with, and it was very soothing. And the other one, I thought, well, being she didn't have hives, she had chicken pox, I didn't use it, and she scarred a lot worse. So this is good for healing your skin problems. And it's also a good diuretic.
Big tall plant.
That's mugwort.
And what's this used for?
It's supposed to be good for female and different bronchial type problems too.
Tastes good too.
I don't like it. Yes, this is the pineapple mint here, and it's good in teas, or I use a lot in my potpourris. And this is the variegated pineapple mint, which is very, very pretty with this white in it. And then we have some more feverfew, and this is marjoram, and then we come into some more mints. There's probably 4 or 5 mints in here. This is orange mint, and there's an eau de cologne mint back here, the darker one. And then this is the black stem peppermint here, which is my favorite for peppermint tea. And this down here is a water mint. It has a very, very fragrant. And then there's some more mint in
That's echinacea?
Mm-hmm. It's a coneflower. Marigolds or calendulas, they skin unheld things. One of them,
You say you can use this in salads?
yes, you can use it in salads. And I made salve out of it. It's very healing. I've done 2 different ways. I've used petroleum spatulina, or I've used beeswax.
And what's this called?
Calendula.
Calendula.
Or pot marigold.
Pot marigold. Well, it's very pretty. I bet it looks good in a flower arrangement too.
Yes, it does. And the salve you make is gold too, and it's very beautiful. And you can even, in tea, it's supposed to be soothing to the stomach for in teas. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to. Really like it.
Yeah. Otherwise, what good is it?
These are some of the books that Gail and I thought would be helpful. Some of them are books that I've used. And these are some of the books that you've used too, Gail.
There's lots of beautiful resources out there. You just, once you get into it, there's an unending source.
You say that this is one of the best books that you've seen?
Well, it's just an easy one because it has colored pictures of your herbs and things in it, and that show you the different things, and it will tell you your different uses and how to grow it, how to harvest it, and from cosmetic to culinary to medicinal uses. And it's a lot easier to look at a colored picture of it.
And it has very clear pictures of what it looks like, so you won't make any mistakes.
Right. There's a lot of herb books out, but a lot of them will just have a little illustration, and you cannot distinguish by an illustration between. There's some plants that are just too similar, so you need very clear pictures to know what you're looking at.
All right, and that's The Complete Book of Herbs by Leslie Brennis. Then there's these vinegars that you spiced up.
I made these vinegars. This one has tarragon and lemon, and this one has peppers and parsley and garlic. And then I like to do some sweet ones. I put strawberries and mint. It gives you a kind of a sweet. I sweeten it with either honey or churro syrup. Gives you a sweet for fruit salads. And then this is red basil vinegar here. And then I saved the fennel seeds. It's nice for tea. And then I also make jelly out of the lemon verbena. This here gives you a kind of a tangy. I call it my lady jelly because the ladies like it. It's not really husky enough for men. Very delicate in flavor. And then this here is in the herbal cosmetics. It's vinegar, and I put old-fashioned roses and lavender in it, and it makes a nice skin astringent. And then there's salve. I use the calendula and make salve. It's very healing to put on scrapes and cuts. Helps you heal up really. These are some of the potpourris I make. I gather all my flowers whenever they're ready and dry them and mix them together with a fixative, and I add oils to enhance their scents because some of the flowers don't have much of a smell, but they're beautiful in color. And then these are lemon basil cookies that I use and I make with some herbs, my basil I grow. So just a few of the things. There's an unending source to what you can do with herbs.
Thank you, Gail. This is a really attractive way to serve the tea. I see you just put the full piece of mint in there.
I brewed some, put the fresh leaves in it first, and then I just serve it, with it.
And you have an open house and a garage sale periodically.
Yes, I do. I have a garage sale every few years, but I have my open house twice a year. I usually have one in the summertime so people can come and tour the gardens and enjoy smelling the flowers and the herbs. And then in the fall I have one where I sell my dried flowers and things for people that like to do their own arrangements and make their own potpourri and things like that.
So obviously these are the things that you're getting ready for the sale.
Yes, I'm just starting to dry things now. If the weather cooperates, the season will move along a little faster, I hope now. Those are the herb bouquets. I pick the herbs and flowers fresh and make them right into bouquets, and people like to have those just hang in a room. Have fresh scent sometimes.
It's real home. I mean, this is the way people really live, you know.
I mean, before I'm done, it'll be wall-to-wall flowers, and I'll take the whole thing last night, but it just wasn't right. I guess I could take some. I don't know if this is the blue Genetian they talk about, or if this is just a Genetian. But I looked it up here. And this one said they use the tea also.
Recognize this as a eucalyptus. Can you tell me what we use this for?
Okay, this is the silver dollar eucalyptus, and we use the oils for, it's good as an inhalant, it's good for chest problems, and I use the oil on my little dog to help keep the fleas off. And I just love eucalyptus. I love the smell of it because it's so fresh. A lot of your health spas and things will use eucalyptus oil in the steam rooms because it is clearing to the head and the chest.
It's pretty too, and
Yes.
I've seen that in arrangements.
They use it, although they use some of the smaller species, usually the gunny eye, because this is just starting to grow now, and as the summer goes, if we have any warmth, they will get huge. The leaves on it will get really big. I do use it in my arrangement. This is my pride and joy. It's about 8 years old.
Beautiful. Gail, these are some of the things that you'll have on sale at your garage sale
Yes.
and open house?
Yes. I have some scented geraniums, and I have some mugwort, and this is black malva. I use the blooms on it for potpourri because they're just beautiful. They keep their color. Some things when you dry them don't stay very true to color, but they dry a real pretty dark purple.
And here's the chives.
Chives, I dry the chive blossoms and use them in arrangements also, besides eating chives. And I have some scented geraniums. You can use those to scent sugar. You can put 2 or 3 different leaves around and just layer it with sugar. And then when you take it out and use your sugar to use in your teas or whatever, and they'll taste whatever the flavor of the geranium is, whether it's peppermint or apricot or nutmeg or whatever, and it's kind of fun. This is African blue basil that's here. It's a beautiful culinary herb. That's
the purple.
Yeah. And this is Snowflake.
I know this one is verbena.
Yeah, lemon verbena. These are lemon verbena. This is what I made the jelly out of. You take the leaves and make a tea and make jelly out of it. That's also my husband's favorite herb. He goes and rubs it on his shirt because it smells so good.
Well, thanks so much, Gail, for sharing your garden with us. I'm certainly grateful, and I know a lot of people out there are too.
Well, it was really a pleasure to have you.
And thanks for watching. Bye. Okay, great. Bye now.
Oh, it's raining.
Yeah, it's raining.
Don't need no church for mother, she lives right here with me. Don't visit her on Sabbath days, I hear her constantly. There's magic in the wild herbs and in the hollow hills. Listen close and you can hear the singing of elves. And I don't need no harp of gold, no crystal mansions up in the sky. Just set me down here, sir, with a homemade dulcimer. Let me live with mama, I'll be fine. Forgiveness from the earth I learn, gentleness from the dough. Patience as the seasons turn, oaks die but seedlings grow. No sins in me to wash away if I would be saved. Just need to become again the me she made. And I don't need no harp of gold, no crystal mansions up in the sky. Just set me down here, sir, with a homemade dulcimer. Let me live with mama, I'll be fine.